Gravitas Pour Homme by Naughton and Wilson. Finally going to be bringing you guys my full review for this fragrance. Here we go. Stay tuned. Now, first of all, hello guys, how you all doing? Thought I'd bring you guys a video. In today's video, we're going to be talking about Gravitas Pour Homme by Naughton and Wilson. This fragrance came out in 2020, so it came out in last year. And I thought I'd bring you guys a full review for this fragrance. Now, this is a scent that I've had in my collection for about, I think I've had it pretty much nearly for about a year now. I did a first impression video on this fragrance, which you guys can check out on my channel. Naughton and Wilson is the name of the company, and this fragrance comes from a fragrance reviewer here on YouTube known as Mr. Smelly 1977. He's a gentleman. He's an amazing person in my opinion, and a great reviewer here on YouTube. And this is a fragrance that he designed because he's really much into his old fragrances. Not everything he likes is old, I'm not saying that, but he tends towards these classic aromatic fragrances, and this fragrance is definitely one of those. Just everything about the presentation is stunning. I'm going to show you guys a separate video. Of course, it did come with a box, but the box that I do own is in storage. I have bags full of boxes that I've been collecting. I don't know why I collect boxes, but whenever I buy a fragrance, I don't like to throw away the box, because to me, the box, I mean, it kept the fragrance intact. And, you know, sometimes boxes can really tell you a lot of information about the fragrance. And I believe when you look at the box for this fragrance, it explains quite a lot about the scent. This is an extrait de parfum, so it's not often that I review extrait de parfums, and it's not even that often that I get to review niche fragrances, never mind, fragrances of that caliber. But this one is just incredible. So we're going to talk a little bit about the perfumer. We'll talk a little bit about what kind of scent this is leaning to. And yeah, let's go. So Gravitas Pour Homme is classified as an aromatic fougere. That is probably a very correct statement for this fragrance. It is very aromatic, but there's so much more going on in the scent. So let's go for it. Let's spray it here. And whilst that's drying down, we'll talk a little bit about the notes. I'm going to put them on the screen so that you guys can check the notes out with me. We can get a bit of a feel of what kind of scent this is. So here we go. I'll put the notes on now. Now, the top notes for this are lavender, mandarin, orange, bergamot. The middle notes, cardamom, coriander, and pepper. And the base notes, vanilla, oak moss, patchouli, and ambergris. Wow. Okay, that's a good selection of notes right there. Really good selection. Now, the creator of this fragrance is John Stephen. Now, John Stephen is a British perfumer, and he's created many fragrances from British houses, mainly houses like Check and Speak. He created a fragrance from them called Oxford and Cambridge, which came out in 1996. And if you thought that was a long time ago, he also created a fragrance called Number 88 in 1980, also from the same company. So this guy goes way back. This guy has made fragrances in the 80s. He knows what it's like to, that he knows what kind of fragrances were going on at that time. And when I smell this, I get the old style of fragrance. So yeah, he's created a good fragrance here, really good fragrance. Now, let's talk about the first impression. There is definitely this aromatic element to the fragrance. It opens up very green, woody, a little bit spicy, and even a little bit animalic too. The pepper note is really standing out to me. I feel like the pepper really drives out the other notes. At first impressions, the fragrance is quite sharp with that pepper, but then there's this citrus. Again, like a little bit of an orange smell rather than bergamot, but it's like a citrus element there. It's warm, and I feel like there's this underlying coriander underneath, which really gives this fragrance this rich, slightly rugged smell, but rugged in the best way. Rugged in the best way. This scent takes a few moments to dry down, but once it does, there's what I really enjoy out of this fragrance. There's a really kind of mossy patchouli. Patchouli isn't one of my strongest notes. It's not one of my most favorite notes, but the patchouli in this is divine. The vanilla and even the ambergris or I believe it could be ambergris I'm smelling, because there's this salty vanilla type of scent in the dry down, and ambergris, of course, it comes from sperm whales, the note originally, and it's said to create this like a salted skin kind of smell, with an amber kind of quality to it. So it's sweet. It's quite a resinous note when it's used. And then this, I do get it in all fairness. It's mainly in the dry down with the vanilla. The vanilla really gives the scent a nice, soft kind of creaminess, but I suppose creamy is not the right word. I think just calling it soft, but just soft and very elegant, I think is the right word for it. It's elegant and it's soft. It's not like a sickly vanilla. It's lovely. I've got the dry down on this hand, guys, so I'm smelling in between. And it's the same scent, but obviously the opening is so strong. This one's been on my skin for a few hours now, and it's still going really strong. But what I get in the dry down mainly is this green vanilla, which is very nice. It's a little bit mossy, but the mossiness is kind of gone now. I'm smelling it here on slightly more in the opening, but in the dry down, yeah, that vanilla is just divine. I'm really starting to get the vanilla coming through. It's really nice. Really, really nice. Just a really high-end scent, in all fairness. It's stunning, and I'm not just saying that to suck up to Dan, but Dan, you've really done a good job here, man, with creating your first fragrance for your company. I think you've gotten the right guy to create it. I think the smell is just so appropriate. It has an old school character to it, but this is a scent that can still easily work today, without a doubt. Now, when I first did a first comparison video to this, it wasn't really a review. Like I said, it was first impressions, and there was a few things I said, and I mentioned that this fragrance smells a little bit similar to Zeno by Davidoff. Mildly. In the video, my first impressions video, I said it smelled a little bit like it. Now it smells mildly similar to it. If anything, I think it's because of the patchouli, and in Zeno, that also has this strong patchouli scent to it, but I believe that has other notes like tobacco and vetiver and whatnot. This one has a similar patchouli note, but this to me is just a much more higher quality, stronger fragrance, and better than Zeno, in my opinion. It falls under the same category as those kind of aromatic patchouli fragrances of the 80s. Etienne Agnes Free Life also comes into mind for me. That kind of dark patchouli kind of scent. This has that, but I think with the other notes that are in here, like those that nice orange that I was able to detect with the citruses, and then this green side of the fragrance, I really like it. The wood side, I think, has definitely come from that coriander, but there is also a cardamom in here as well, which creates a little bit of a spiciness. It's not overly spicy. It's a soft, spicy scent. Classy, sexy blend, in all fairness. My girlfriend Stacy actually really likes this fragrance. I remember we had a date one night and we were staying in a hotel, and I wore this fragrance for a meal. We went to a Thai restaurant. It was beautiful, actually. The food there was amazing. And she complimented me a few times on how I smelled, and I was wearing this, and she really enjoyed it. In all fairness, obviously I don't like fragrances for the sake of other people. I really do like this, and I think if you guys are looking for a very classy patchouli scent, this is worth it. I believe this fragrance is about, I'm not sure about the prices, forgive me. If you guys are curious about getting a bottle, I will put the Naughton and Wilson website in the description of the video so that you guys can go over there and check it out. Like I said, I'm not sure about the prices. I believe Naughton and Wilson's fragrances post to anywhere in the UK, Canada, and the United States. Yeah, that's all I can really say on this fragrance, guys. It's just so beautiful. For being an extrait de parfum, I don't get extrait de parfum type of longevity, I will be honest. I get about 8 to 9 hours, so it works like a good eau de parfum, in my opinion. But what makes the fragrance special is the fact that the notes in it are very well blended. They smell very realistic. There's nothing synthetic whatsoever about this fragrance. I'm just going to throw that out there now. And I'm not just saying that because it comes from a guy who I do admire as a reviewer and as a person. I'm not just saying that at all. I'm being deadly honest. This is such a high quality scent that I'm so glad that I have this in my collection. It's absolutely beautiful. Really, really is beautiful. So Dan, thank you so much, buddy, for making this. You did one hell of a job with this. I think the perfumer you picked for it did a good job. And I think for being the first fragrance from your company, you completely nailed it, man. Well done. So that's my review for Gravitas Pour Homme by Naughton and Wilson. Thank you all so much for watching this video. It really means a lot. In the next few episodes, guys, I'm going to be bringing you fragrances that some of you might have heard of, some of you might not have heard of, actually. But I'm working between both sexes at the minute. So what I mean by that is I'm basically reviewing female fragrances as much as I am men's fragrances. And the reason for that is because I've just recently purchased some awesome fragrances that are marketed towards women. But I think a man could totally get away with them, hence why I'm talking about them and hence why I'm going to review them. So yeah, stay tuned for those, guys. And I've got a few vintage fragrances coming up as well for review, which I just can't wait to bring you. So yeah, thank you all so much really for watching this. It really means a lot. If you guys have enjoyed my review for this, let me know in the comments. If you like Gravitas Pour Homme by Naughton and Wilson, do let me know. Go over to Mr. Smelly's channel, in other words, Dan's. Go over to his channel, show him some love. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you all in the next video. Bye-bye for now.